Hello. Today I thought it was really important for me to come out of hiding and talk to you when the day isn't so perfect. There's been lots of forest fires already in Alberta and British Columbia. I think there's 77 fires already, and it's not even the end of May. And a lot of people are really terrified about that, and there's really nothing that we can do about it. But also what it's done is it has created a lot of smoke, and today especially the wind is pulling the smoke in from other areas. And I see a lot of posts online with people saying that it's terrible and they can't breathe, which I understand. I do understand. However, I think that we really have, as humans, become so sensitive, maybe is the word, to uncomfortability. And I was watching Wim Hof, who I follow once in a while, talking about how, we don't hold our breath. We don't get too cold. We don't like to be too hot. We don't like to be uncomfortable. And so it creates, as we age, this person that it's like a weakness. So I was told that it's really good to, when you first get up in the morning, the first 45 minutes, to actually stare at the sun. And we were told as children that it would ruin our eyes. But they're finding actual health benefits from staring at the sun. So I did that for a while, and it was really actually interesting because my eyes are super sensitive even now. I'm squinting a lot because it's bright even with smoke. But how it almost, like, my eyes adjusted and they almost formed like this darker ring in the center, which made me able to stare at the sun. And I just stared at it and kind of just sat in awe of watching the sunrise and just staring right at it and not being afraid. And I think that is a big key for me, is to do things that I used to be afraid of and realize there's nothing to be afraid of. It's such a fear mechanism. It's such a, even today I was sitting inside and I couldn't breathe very well, and I closed all the windows and I closed the curtains. And, my daughter does suffer from asthma and breathing a little bit. She's definitely suffering, but I'm not. And so I thought, I'm going to come outside and I'm going to do a video and I'm going to be uncomfortable a little bit. When I left Kelowna, I was worried because I used to call this place mosquito hell. And there is a ton of mosquitoes. I was trying to take a video this morning of the screens with the windows open, and there's hundreds of mosquitoes trying to find me. So I usually get multiple a minute when I'm here. And here's this breeze that, yes, is bringing in the smoke, but it's also gently blowing the bugs away, so I can sit out here comfortably and not feel like I'm going to get eaten alive and just be, a little uncomfortable. And so Kelowna may not have that, but it also has other things that here doesn't have. It's so quiet here. This is a beach on a lake, and I've been paddling for days by myself. There's no one around. And a bear could come out, sure. I could be in fear and be, constantly watching and afraid of what could happen. Or I could just be in this moment. I could be here and sit in the grass barefoot and enjoy the day and just be with whatever is presenting right now. So I thought that was a really good idea to come sit in that and feel it. And maybe the grass is poking me, and maybe things are happening. But I also, this morning, the second thing when I saw Wim Hof was the breathing. And breathing is so important for us. It's something that we take so for granted, I believe. And so he said, there's these you have to do it 3 times, and you breathe in, stomach, chest, head, really deep, and then just kind of let it go, like half let it go, and do it really deep in and let it go 30 times. And then breathe in, I think it's for 15 seconds, and then breathe out and stay in the out breath for like a minute and a half. Like, don't even breathe, just hold it. And so I'm doing that, and I'm starting to panic. I get maybe 30 seconds in. I don't think I even need 30 seconds. And I was like, I can't do this. I have to breathe. So I started again and started the deep breaths in and then let it out. And again, I was only able to make it like 25 seconds, and I started to panic inside. And so I think that that's such an invitation for me to figure out, why am I so afraid? Like, I can hold my breath longer than 25 seconds. So what is that that's triggering me in this moment? And sit with that. And it's every single thing that we go through in life, when we get to that place of fear, it's that such a gift of a message to say, why is that? What story are you telling yourself to believe that that's true? What's presenting for you that makes that so fearful? And so yeah, I'm human, and I have so many lessons yet to learn. Till the day I die, I can learn, and I think that's a huge thing for people to realize. You never stop learning, and you should never want to stop learning, because there's so much out there to discover. And once you discover it, it's like for me, it's like a bit of joy and peace that comes with, that truth of that was my story, and I don't want that story anymore. As a small child, I feel like I was neglected. I'm a middle child. I was a good kid, and so I was sort of left and to do my own thing. They didn't have to worry about me. They knew I was okay. But in doing that, I also didn't get attention. So years go by, and when I would come out of my hiding, I would almost feel attacked. So I would always regress back in, and I would feel like I was in danger of being hurt or attacked if I came out. So I said, I can just love people from my quiet little space, and I can just hide. And so in doing that, I also think that I picked a partner that helped me be that as well. And so we were, Mike and I were together 30 years, and a lot happened, and good and bad, but the ultimate that came from it at the end was that I had chosen a relationship where I was lonely, and I did it to myself. Absolutely. We have to own our shit. And so I started owning that and realizing, because it started presenting in my children. And there was this one day I'll never forget. My daughter, I was picking her up from school, and I think she was in grade 10 or 9, or I can't remember exactly when, but I was driving up along the school, and she was with a couple of friends, and I said, get in, and she said, I'm not getting in with you. And I was like, Mason, get in the car. And she says, I'm not coming home with you. And so I actually had to drive away, and I was horrified. Like, I didn't know where she was going to go. I was in control of my life. I was in control of my kids, and that's where we were safe all these years. And so I get home, and I'm sitting at the table, and here's my son, and I'm telling him what's happening, and he's just like, get away from me. You're just suffocating. And I was like horrified. I was like rejected by both children within like 2 hours. And so I shockingly go outside, and we had a 4x4 four-wheeler ATV. And so I got on this ATV, and I drove as fast as I could to the farthest corner of our property, which was like 1,200 acres. So it was a ways of a drive. And I meandered all the way to the edge. And I got to that edge, and I was like bawling. I was crying so hard, because I was just feeling so rejected and so empty. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I get this clarity, this little gem of a thought that I chose this. I chose to be lonely. I chose to be rejected. And so I I chose this and I don't choose it anymore. And I looked up to the sky, to the universe, to the source, to whoever I looked to for these answers. And I just kind of smiled to myself, and I was like, I was happy, because it was like such a lesson of, oh my goodness, I did this and I can choose to change it. And it was such an empowering moment. I just took all of my power back and just thought, okay, let's do this. Let's start over. Let's learn. Let's start learning how to not be that way anymore. And so it's been years of lessons and failures, of course. I mean, they say there's no failures, only lessons. So I will take that, and I've had many lessons of how no longer to be, and to let people love me. And you know, I have another story all about that, which I would love to share with you just recently on the next episode. And just, yeah, just absolutely choose the things that you want, not the things you don't want. You know, the universe doesn't know the negative, and I really believe that you have to choose what you want. And I choose love, and I choose peace, and I choose joy, and I choose this moment. So join me for that, and let's have some fun. Let's dance, let's play, let's be kids, you know. People are saying, you know, act your age. What does that even mean? Act your age. This is me being whatever I want to be, because that's me. And that's, if you don't like it, then I guess that's your choice, and you don't have to be around me, and you don't have to surround yourself with my energy. But if you want to, let's play. Let's live this life to the fullest, with all of it. The ugliness, the beauty, this, which turns out is absolutely fantastic. I'm so glad I came out here to share this with you. So again, thank you so much for joining me. I love having you here. I love being able to talk. I love the sun. I love this moment. Talk soon.